Hello and welcome. Today we are going to also look at input output in C++. Input output. So I want you to head over to File, New, and then what? Project. You go there, you choose Console Application, and then you select C++. For the project title, make it Input Output. You hit Enter and then finish. Okay, so like I showed you in the previous lecture, we just created a new project, but we are having access to the old one. Just go to the tab here, this particular one. Close the tab. Okay. Activate the manager to have the list of the project so far. So input underscore output. This is the current one, the one we want to use. You just expand the sources. You double click on main.cpp to have the what? The project. Let me close the magnifier. So input output, I think already you have seen the output. It's left with the input. Okay, so we can have some variables. Again, let me just copy from the other lecture. Let me copy from the other side. Let me copy these ones. So we have our variables here. Now, it's possible to view this variable. So whenever you use the cout and then you put your content here, okay, we're supposed to have the end L. This is the complete structure. This side is compulsory, but apart from the first cout with its arrow and then the content you are displaying, the rest is not compulsory, so you can omit the rest like this. Okay, and if you omit it, it has a different meaning. We'll look at that one maybe later on. Okay, but just understand that if you have a hello world like this, you build and run your program, it's going to display hello world on the screen. If instead of hello world I put the variable name called name, if I put this thing there, it's going to show me the value name is storing. So now name is storing John Smith. That is what is going to be seen. We build and run it. You can see John Smith is seen. So if you want to get a value that is stored in a particular variable, you have to use the what? The variable name in the cout. Please don't wrap the name in a double quote. If you wrap the name in the double quote, that means you want to display NAME in the console screen. So this will just give you name. Okay. Anything in the double quote will come as it is. But if it's not in the double quote and it looks like this, then it will go through your program and search for a variable with a name called name. When it gets this particular variable, then it will what? It will display the content that variable is storing. That's why this is coming as John Smith. Okay, so using the same approach, I want you to pause the video and then display all the other variables we have here. Just pause the video and then display them using the cout. Okay. Okay, so this is what we have. Now, if I run the program, you can see the name, the age, and the others. They are all listed here. Now, in programming, Boolean is true or false. And in programming, true is equal to 1, and then false is equal to 0. That's why when I ran the program, you saw that the can vote came as what? 0. That's because it's false. If this side is changed to true, instead of it being 0, it will come as what? 1. So you can see over here it's 1. That is the behavior, or that is how Boolean are treated in code. So we have the name, the age, all displayed now. But you see, let's make it more descriptive. If someone sees this application, they will be a bit confused. What is John Smith and what is the 29? What is the 2.5 we are seeing here? Is it the amount? Is it their weight? So we can make it more descriptive. Okay. And we can do this by simply adding some kind of text against the values, so that we know that the first thing here is the name, the age, and then the others. But I think I missed something. Where is the salary? It's not part, right? So I'll quickly add my salary as part of it. Okay. All right. Now, let's add some placeholder. It's very important. So over here, I'll just add name, colon, and then a space. And then I'll close it. You see the approach? If you want to add another thing in the cout, you just will have to add the left shift in between them. So this is one content, this is another. They are not together. If you try to run the program, this is going to complain. You get it? So since this one is a different and then a different, to actually combine them, it makes sense to add your left shift to join the two output together. This is one and then this is what? The other. The two are now joined together. We do a build and run, and this is going to show us, so you can see name, colon, and then your value comes. Okay. The same way we are going to add age, a space, we separate them with a left shift, and you can see age is 29. So using the same approach, do the same for everything. You can pause the video, do the same for everything, and then come back to watch. All right, so now this is what you are going to have. We run the application and you can see the name is John Smith, the age is 29. So we have a nice placeholder or labels against the values, so making it more descriptive. Now little by little we are getting there. Little by little we are getting there. Okay. Now another thing I would like to talk about is, these are variables we have created and then values we've given to them. It's possible you can change this one to maybe Francis. Okay. And if you change this one to Francis, automatically that is what will display down here. So you run it, and instead of John Smith, it's now what? Francis Smith. So any change you make here automatically will reflect down here. That's the power of using variables. You change it to one, and then anywhere you are using it, we also get a reflection of the update. So that is it. Okay. Again, I want us to look at, so this is variable, and then this is output, displaying the content in the variable. Okay, I'll add some kind of comment here. So creating variables. So this comment means the compiler will not execute it. When you want to take some note, or you want to just jot down some point that you don't want it to be part of the code, you just add some 2 lines here and then the content. You can see it's grayed out. So this one we call it comment. The compiler will not execute it as part of the code. Okay. And this is where we do the what? The displaying. It's left for the last one. So let's look at taking input. Now, why do we have to tackle the taking input? You can see that over here, all that we are doing is static. Okay, it's static. Now, static in what sense? You can see that each time you run the program, the information is always going to be the same. Always. Unless you manually change the values for the variable. Always is going to be, name will be Francis Smith, age, and then the other variables, they will have the values they are having. Okay. But now we want to make it descriptive, like not really descriptive, but we just want to make it in such a way that it's going to be dynamic. When the program starts, it will ask the user to enter their own name. When they provide, it asks them enter your age. You get it? So like they will actually provide the input, better than making it static like it's behaving now. So to do that, we have something we call C in. Your arrow will come and then the name. So the C in is the command to take input from the console screen. And then this arrow simply points to the fact that whatever you type, it will take that and then push it in this variable. So there's a variable called name, right? That is this one. So it will take your information from the console and then store it in the what? In a variable. That's why the icon is moving this way. Please, there's a difference. If it's C in, we call it the right shift. The arrow is moving to the right. If it is C out, the arrow is moving to the left side. So this alone, watch what will happen when I run the application. So you can see now the cursor is ready, waiting for input. I'll put James here. When I hit enter, you can see I typed James, and now whilst doing the displaying, the name came as what? James. It didn't choose what is up here, Francis Smith. It came as what? James. Before I finish talking about this, you can see now automatically if it opens, we just see a blinking cursor. We will understand, but if you give this to a different programmer, they will not know what you are expecting from them, right? So that means we need to add something we call C out. Enter name. So the C out will be a prompt or something like a label they will see. Enter name, then they will know what they are to enter. So the C out is right above it, and then the C in. Always your C in should be below the C out if you are taking input. So enter name. You know they are expecting you to what? Enter your name. So whatever you type, you hit enter. That is going to be the name there. Okay, it's going to be the name there. And like I told you, the first C out and 8 arrow together with the content is compulsory. But this one is not compulsory. You can remove it from there. And when you take it from there, your input will be on the same line with the C in. Okay. The end, we call it end line. That means right after the end line, no other content can join it. So it's like a full stop. Okay, it's like a full stop. So if we add it like this, we are trying to say that, after you are done displaying the enter name, end the line. Make sure that no other content can follow it. Any other C out content that comes, put it to the next line. That is at the bottom. But if it's not there, then it means your content will be joined, all of them on the same line. You can see now the C in is joined to the C out. So name is name 5, and now the name 5 is there. Okay, the name 5 is there. So the same way we'll do the same for age. Enter age. C in age. So we will display enter age, and then the user will supply their age. Make sure you are doing this in between, after we done creating the variables. The taking input will come before displaying. So taking input is in between. In between is the taking of the input. So we run the program again now, and previously our age is 29, I guess. So name is Jonathan. Age 89. So you can see how it follows. It will start from the first one, enter name, then we enter the name, then you hit enter, it take you to the next question, enter your age. So this is how it's going to be like. You type the age, and then you can see name is Jonathan, age is what? 89. Now code are always read from top to bottom. You realize even though when we created the variables, we assigned some values to them. but the values displayed have changed. Okay. At the point of creation, the compiler will know that name is Francis Smith together with the others as well. But over here, if you supply a name and then you save it in a name variable, it's going to be seen as an update. So instead of it being Francis Smith, it will be what the user supplied. You get it? So at this point, it's no more going to be Francis Smith. It's going to pick a new update from the user. Age to the same. It will not be 29. It will be equal to what you supply, what the user supplies. Okay, so that's the importance of these particular ones. It's very, very important to take note. Code are read from top to bottom. At this side, it has a value. This side, there's an update to the variables. Okay, so that is that. That is that. Now, using the same approach, I want you to do for the others. We have done the name and then the age. So do for salary, weight, gender, and then the can vote. You can pause the video and then do that. Okay, so quickly, this is what I have. Now leave out the can vote. Okay, you can do it, but leave out the can vote. This particular one, leave it out. Leave it out. So we have we've taken input from the users and we've stored them to inside the variables. This is what will tell you what you are to supply, and if you supply, it's going to be stored in the name. Okay, now quick one before we end this lecture. Now watch this very well. So if I say name is John, age is 14, salary is 25 point, and then the weight, gender is male. This is the prompt. The enter is the prompt, and then the displaying is what? This one. Okay, so we have the values as exactly as we typed, with the exception of the can vote, because I didn't use the can vote. Actually, I didn't. So this is what you are seeing. Everything is working as expected. Okay, but if we run the program now, and then with the name I type John space Smith, you can see that the program misbehaves now. Okay, we didn't type the age, we didn't type the salary and the others. It just came straight forward, and you see how it's behaving. Now in C++, whenever you want to take anything from a user, and you know that thing can span more than a word. So for taking maybe someone's name, we have the first name space, middle name, and then last name, or possibly first name space last name. So if you know what you are taking from the user will include a space, you don't use the cin for it. Using the cin will end you up in the error we had. Okay, so for that matter, we use a different thing we call get line, and this get line you supply cin and then the name. So the get line, you give it cin and then the variable you want to store the information in. This one will allow us to type more than a word, more than a word. So if you know what you are taking will span more than a word, then you go with the what? The get line, not the cin. So the name is Francis John Smith, age, and you can see now it's working. So this is where we are doing the displaying, and the name, the age is all is working. Okay, all is working. So that is how it's supposed to be like. That's how it's supposed to be like. You use the get line for strings. Don't use it for number. If it's number like salary, age, and then weight, use your normal cin. If it is strange that would span more than a word, then you go with the what? The get line. So this is it. Let me show you one last thing. Now you can see the input and then the output, they are almost joined together. I don't know if you can see that. They are almost joined together. Okay, so they are joined together. Now I want to include a space in between them. And so to do that, this is where we are taking the input and then displaying. So in between, let me just add a cout and then end L like this. It's going to create a space there. And then right after this one, let me see, displaying information. So run the program. John Francis, age is 24, salary, and then weight. So this is what you can see. After the information taken, you have what? A space here. And the space came as a result of the end L. Okay, it just created a space up there. And then we have displaying information. So display information is just sort of like some title we are giving it. And the name, age, like it goes to the actual outputting. Okay, so that's about how to create variables, input and then output in C++. Again, consider subscribing, liking, and then also giving us your comment. That's the source of motivation we have now, since we are not really taking anything from you, and aside that, it's also a way to catch up in class. Those of you I know in class, you know, right? So a way for you to catch up. Try and then subscribe and then give me your comment. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next lecture. Bye bye.